Did someone say perch?
Hey guys, my name is Michael and I'm back after an amazing perch fishing trip in Spain. If you haven't seen my previous video on the channel called Perchzilla, go check it out. It's a pre-video before we went, and this is basically my experience after the trip. Yeah, I'm lost of words pretty much because the fishing was so much beyond my expectations and my hopes, and yeah, I'm just super grateful to be here, and I just want to yeah, share my experience with you guys. So we went there for 5 days. We came down on Monday, and we got picked up from the airport by the guys. They drove us to our commodity. It was a really nice house where we had everything: Wi-Fi, showers, a lot of beds. It was perfect. It had everything we needed. A lot of food stacked up in a fridge filled of Red Bull and a lot of drinks. So it was perfect. There was a lot of wind when we came down, unfortunately, but can't complain of the fishing. So we basically skipped fishing for kayaks the first day. We went out the second day. We didn't go with a guide, but we went out on our own. So it was a bit windy as well this day, unfortunately. So we had to stay close to some islands in the middle, and we were a bit restricted to where we could fish. But we got a few. Yeah, we tried different spots, and we had some hints, and the guys were very generous and gave us a lot of hints on where to go. We also had sonars on the kayaks, and we were able to locate some big fish and find some fish quite quickly. Basically the first fish that I got was only a few hours out on the kayaks, and it was a perch of 2.3 kilos, 50 centimeters long, so like crazy for the first fish. It kept on going. The next fish was one of the smaller we caught, 1.6 kilos, but it was a really fat one. We went down in the spring, and the fish are bigger, they weigh more. These fish have a lot of eggs. I've never seen anything like it, but yeah, they weigh much. It's super fantastic, awesome perch to catch. Yeah, I've lost a really good one. We changed location to another area where we knew it had good fish. We tried a lot of different locations. We fished a bit closer to the shore, and I got another perch on 2.2 kilos. I think it was crazy. Got another one close to that area, 1.8 kilos, and that was, yeah. Yeah, I had contact with another fish on I used a small wobbler and crankbait like a salmon hornet, and I was trawling between some spots to maximize the fishing, basically ensuring I had the lure in the water all the time. Stayed close to the shores, and yeah, was doing some trawling between the spots, and stayed in depths of maybe 1.5 to 2.53 meters. Got some more strikes, but yeah, my rod was quite stiff, so I kind of lost that fish with the 3-hook. But crazy day. That was only the first day. Yeah, next day we went down there. We went out with a guide, and yeah, Jose, he didn't even fish himself, but he gave us a lot of good hints, and he told us a lot about, you know, how the fish moves, and he has a lot of knowledge, been fishing these waters for over 5 years, and this guy knew what, you know, he knows what he's talking about, and he knows how this you know, how the perch moves different seasons, and the other species, and yeah. we started off crazy. I got a fish on 2.5 kilos. It was 50 centimeters perch, as round as a fucking football. How crazy! And you know, first fish of the day, yeah, crazy. So yeah, and continued. The next fish I got was 2 kilo one. My friend Rusty got a super nice fish on 2,580, I think. We got them at the same time. I think Hotan got another fish on like 2.6 kilos at the same time, and just crazy. Everything happened, and I think we managed to hit like a crazy good week during the year, pre-spawning, and we were able to fish at areas that had a lot of fish. Um, so yeah, that kind of fishing was crazy during that day. To follow on that one, I got my biggest perch ever on 2.7 kilos, a 54 centimeters long and crazy perch. That was craziest perch fishing I ever experienced and heard about pretty much on one day. So yeah, continued. We had lunch. You know, the guys, they drove out the food each day to the water so we can maximize the fishing time. They drove us back into the waters and back again. And it was like a perfect service and very familiar feeling with the Spanish culture and the Spanish guys there. So everything was really top class, and we were treated really nice by these guys. And yeah, really great arrangement and great offering. And you know, this fishing water is probably the best fishing waters you can have for perch in the world. And we managed to experience like a crazy good week. So yeah, that's what can happen in Perchzilla. And you know, it continued. I've got another just about to be below 2 kilos perch on trawling between the spots. We tried some different spots, and Rusty got a 2.2 kilo perch on a different location. And crazy day. The next day, yeah, on the first cast, I think Hotan took a perch on 2.82 kilos on the first cast. It was crazy. Otherwise, there was a lot of wind and it was quite hard to fish. And it was kind of tricky to get them to bite, even though, you know, the fishing was crazy. You know, I think we didn't land so many fish during this time, and the perch were really picky, but as with the guide we knew exactly where to fish, and we knew that we had to present the baits really slowly and carefully this time of the year. And we took our experiences from home, and we were able to experience this crazy fishing. I've never heard about anything similar. We had like 15 perch over 2 kilos during, you know, a few days on the kayaks, and yeah, really big fish as well. And apparently, like the perch are growing each of the years, or sort of the whole perch tribe. So it will be amazing to see, but it sounds really, and my experience is that, my guess is that there's 3 kilo perch swimming in these waters. There must be, and if they're growing each year, you know, who knows, you know, how the perch fishing will look like next year or the coming years here. So I mean, yeah, if you have the opportunity, I know it costs some money, but if you can, I would recommend to go there, because it's no comparison to anything, you know, at home or anything similar I've heard about. And it's an interesting topic, I think, in general, because you know, I went there to just experience good fishing and experience the joy of catching, like a dream catch, and experience like these big and beautiful perch that I've only seen sometimes in social media, but I've never even been able to dream that I could catch myself. But on this place, everyone can do it, or there's a chance of doing it. There's a chance of catching a 2 kilo perch for most guides, and I mean, I think Jose about the guide. This far, he hasn't been able to. Yeah, he has every on each of the trips. All of the people that have come to the guiding has been able to take a personal best. Just speak for yourself, but I mean, if you're dreaming like me, or were dreaming like me to catch a 2 kilo perch, it's the place to go. It's good chances, and later during the fall you have a good chance of catching lots of big fish. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like it. I think the topic about comparing yourself in different locations is an interesting one. My experience is that it's not really possible to compare different locations and different waters, because every water is unique, every area is unique. You know, the fishing on the south coast is not the same as in the northern parts of Sweden, for example. So there's no really idea need to compare anything. I mean, it's fun, and we need to place our experiences compared to what we've experienced before to be able to take it in some way. That's, you know, how humans and our brains are wired. But I mean, it's not even possible to compare like possibly the best perch fishing in the world against most places. So I don't know why the fish are that big. I have some theories. The food is 70% crawfish, and you know, very nutritious food, and the perch have a lot of food and really big crawfish up to 25 centimeters, and they can eat as much as they want. So they have the best potential to produce a lot of eggs, and have you know, they grow these bigger tummies, and the fish are like footballs in this lake. And it's a lot to do with the food and the availability. So the fishing, I mean, the quality of the water is really good. You're not allowed to go with a boat, and the fishing pressure with these kayaks are quite low. And yeah, I mean, there's no pollution, and the water is used for drinking water. So awesome. The guides, they really care about long-term fishing, so you're not allowed to fish during spawning season, and you know, they have thoughts around long-term sustainable fishing, and everything is really optimal. And I think there's even cold water pouring into the lake, and ensuring that it stays in the optimal temperatures the whole year, if that matters. I'm not 100% sure, but really it's a good location. I mean, Spain, you have a lot of sun, and warm and nice weather to fish in. So I would recommend it to anyone who's dreaming about catching that once in a lifetime perch, if you can afford it. It's a high class trip. I mean, it costs some money, but definitely an experience of a lifetime. And after you've done it, you probably would consider to going back, because the whole package and everything is top class. So yeah, check it out. Perchzilla, the best perch fishing place in the world, probably.